How y'all doing?
For those that remembered the time change, hello everybody.
How y'all doing? Deep breaths. We'll be all right. He shall not outlast us. He sure is trying though. Y'all see that big giant chicken pot thing on his neck?
Frivolous neck.
I said, what you doing? Fighting the red hot Cheetos? What's going on back there?
Rotten from the inside out.
I mean, bless his heart.
I don't bless his heart. Leave him alone. Leave that energy alone. Not mess with that.
Whatever's happening is supposed to happen. You know, so. I said scratchy and itchy. You better go right ahead.
Have you guys noticed he's been wearing a lot of baseball caps lately? I bet you he's got like that rash like that up here.
Up here. And it shows through his hair. Did you see? Yeah, when they brought the bodies back, the soldiers back, and he was there saluting, and he had his political hat on. Fox later aired it with him with no hat on, with hair. They doctored the video because he was getting heat for wearing a political hat
to take the damn hat off.
The bodies back.
I mean, I don't expect him to have class nor care about anything. He did that because he was supposed to. Because that's, you know.
Becca, they're already talking in the chat that you look divine with all those rays of light around you. Becca's about to go through the rapture. You suddenly see her off the screen and a pile of clothes on the floor. She got raptured up.
You bet not, because if I think I'm gonna be left behind. Throw the rope out so we can climb with you.
That'll be fun.
Go grab Braxy, take her up.
I know. After she's done with her dinner, though, or else she'll be crying the whole time.
Yeah.
So.
Tell them it's your emotional support dog.
Hold on, Rapture. I'll be right there.
You take her. They tell us your emotional support dog. That's how it is. When I got on the airplane and it was 55 dogs that came in. I'm like, what is going on? She
is my little emotional support baby.
People, y'all take y'all dogs everywhere. Everywhere. What was I about to say? The airport. What is the place we was at? The hotel.
Yeah, that'd be called a hotel, Johnny. Oh, he's doing the grabbing at words again. This is gonna be fun night.
It was gone. You know what I almost said? Halloween. Halloween and hotel are not the same words. I mean, they can be. It depends on where you are. But
airport and hotel are not the same word.
I meant to say airport. I didn't mean to say Halloween, but his show was coming out though.
Johnny's actually AI. He's just glitching tonight.
How
many fingers am I holding up, Johnny? How many fingers am I holding up?
I got a story to tell at the end too, so we gonna stop a little early, just a little bit.
Story time with Johnny.
I'm Southern, so you know it takes me a while to tell the story. I can't start in the middle. Well, thank you, Spiritual Hack. See, somebody understand where I am right now. I almost said Halloween. People take their dogs to the Halloween. They do. Thank you. That was true. Yes. I worked in a place where they have more Halloween costumes for dogs than they did for people. So dogs and cats.
I took Braxy trick-or-treating the first year. I had her when she dressed like a little bat, so she can go get her little cupcake. She was so happy. Took her to the puppy deli. She got a cupcake. She was so happy.
There's a guy, he makes cakes in like not weird shapes, but you know, like shaped like castles and Mario and all this type of stuff.
Hotels and airports.
Yes. And he was doing he was doing a review of cookies from different, the QSRs, the quick service restaurants. and his dog was in the back. And every time he pulled up to one of the windows, the dog went in the window because they wanted a pup cup. And every time you take your dog to one of these places, y'all get them something to eat and drink too.
I sure do.
You're not getting another one. Yes, he is.
I mean, it's like cats. Every time you go to the fridge, they're like, "What are you getting for me?"
Yeah,
that's my
every
pet
time.
right there.
Every time I go to Starbucks, oh look, that's Johnny's pet, the one that I sent him.
That's his emotional support animal.
I got 3 of them back there.
When I
need 4.
When I go to Starbucks, Braxy knows because she gets a pup cup, so she'll look at me like, "Where's my shit, Mom?" It's like, okay, so.
Oh, hi, Selma. It is okay. I don't know what the name of this one is, so I won't even pretend to know. I'm trying to. We have a tarot group, right? And we did the other day like a show and tell, and of course I have a lot more to show than most people. And I picked some questions like I bought this deck because, and so forth and so forth. You fill in the blank. So we got to show off some of the decks that we have. And so now we're sort of in the habit of trying to use the decks that we rarely use. So this is one I got from Star and Flurry Tarot, if you're out there. Lumina Tarot, I'll be using that one today. I'll be using the Wild Reflections Tarot today, and the Moonlight Dream Tarot today, which I got from Stephanie and Maria, if they are in the chat too. If you like what is the name of that deck? Everybody uses it now. It just flew away from me.
Grab it, grab it, grab it, grab it.
The something, I don't know what it's called. Never mind. It's very popular though. Whatever. Anyway,
Susan and
Jen, what you got going on? Anything?
Susan and chat said on SNL last night, they said that Trump's shirt was washed in holy water. Hence the neck.
It's burning him alive.
Burning him alive. I have openings in March and April for readings. If you'd like a reading with me, JenLynTarot.com. 2 N's in Jen, 2 N's in Lynn. After you schedule a reading, check your, if you don't see in your inbox an email from me confirming it, check your spam folder. A lot of times it goes to spam. Do have openings March, April. Let's see. Update on plumbing. Pipe is fixed. We turned the water on to test it and everything. Everything's good. I turned it back off because we're getting cold again this weekend. So I was like, you know what? Until they repair the hole in the ceiling and everything else and the insulation, I don't want it refreezing. So I haven't turned it back on permanently. I will here shortly. But oh my God, they're saying it will take 2 to 3 weeks to do the rebuild on everything they've ripped out. And they're going to have to rip more out on the stairs to the cellar because they didn't do it cleanly. It's not like you can just pop wallboard in. No, it's all jagged and stuff. They're like, we got to rip it all the way back. And I'm like, oh my God.
Because they weren't coming in to renovate. They were trying to, get at the but they just didn't do it.
And with the daylight coming into the crawl space up in the kind of, I'll call it attic space around it, discovered that I had a water leak under the siding that went into the soffit that has rotted my soffit out in one place. So I have to get a siding guide out, and there's more money. Like, that's not related to the pipe bursting, so insurance won't cover it. Yes, for those who keep emailing me, I have insurance. I have a high deductible, and insurance isn't covering everything. So I have some out of pocket and a high deductible. So I do appreciate the super chats. Hey, Lori.
Hi, Lori. I saw Mom in there. Hi, Mom. Hi, Stephanie.
Okay, I figured it out. If you like the Light Seers Tarot, it's very, very, very popular on TarotTube and just out there in the world, then you might like that one too. The art style is similar. Okay. Becca Lenormand, anything? Okay.
Is he dead yet? Get your voodoo doll, Johnny. Please.
When's that rash going to take over? He's really starting to look like Steve Bannon.
I can't take it anymore. I can't stab him in the neck. Like
There's one down there. It's just not in the back.
Well, he had a spot on his forehead before the big thing on his neck showed up.
Whoever that Etsy witch is that got Charlie Kirk, man, I'm telling you. We need to find out who she is.
I'm gonna put a little thing called Karma You Missed. Okay, so there you go. Thank you, Sally. Okay, so we'll start.
They're saying, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but they're saying that he's oozing syphilis. That's what that meant.
I tell you,
I mean, he do look very itchy. Like,
look, Braxy has a lot to say, huh, baby? Huh? Look, Braxy doesn't like him either, huh?
She looks very concerned.
No, she said no. She's like,
Mom, protect me from him. He's going to come for the cats and dogs because the grocery prices keep going up. He's going to tell people to eat their cats and dogs for entertainment purposes. Only you.
I would never eat you, Beebs. I would never eat you. You're too cute. You're too cute. We'll eat a squirrel. How about that?
Yes, I was watching a cooking show. She said during the war, her parents, because the children had chickens and animals and stuff but they wouldn't eat them because they named them. He said, but then afterwards they started naming them after because they're English. They started naming them after the enemies in the war, and then they were doing their part for the war effort. But
in Peru, they raise guinea pigs. They're like family pets, and then they just pick one up and they eat them. They call them in Peru. It's called cucuy. I think that's what it's called. But they're just guinea pigs in the house, and they just. So you're sitting there playing with it one day, and next thing you know, it's in a stew. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I'll stick to chicken that somebody else killed. Caveat. Okay. Let's start with the obvious and the petty. With everything going on in the world, will we see more MAGA start to enlist?
If MAGA's gonna is MAGA
will we see more of the not even more, because I don't know if there's any, but will we start to see them enlist?
Well, did you see that they're talking about the draft?
They can't draft anybody.
I say take the MAGA, take the Christo-fascists, make Barron go, and the tech bros.
Can you imagine him like with the platoon lined up, and then he's like so much higher than them? He'd be the first one taken out.
If you're so tough, there's a war going on.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's a photo going around of a whole bunch of them with their gigantic guns walking around some grocery store.
Yeah, because the bacon's going to come out and attack you.
Damn that Jimmy Dean.
they're afraid of the libtards.
I guess. Stay out of Whole Foods. Get hit with a broccoli or something.
Is that right, Bella? Do we throw broccoli? We do, don't we? I am so stuffy and congested. My ears keep clogging up. I'm having trouble hearing. It's all the dust that's been stirred up in the house with all the crap going on.
All your walls are open and ceiling and everything.
Yeah, it's kind of like I sweep and it's like, why am I bothering? Like, it's just.
Yeah, everything's blooming here.
We haven't gotten that warm yet, but
we all got to get snow again.
I know everything's gonna start blooming when I see the box elders come out of the ground, the little bugs.
Okay. Lord have mercy.
Only if the White House takes an action, like a draft, would we see MAGA. Because right now they're like whatever they can get away with, sneaking away. Like no. Moving into the military makes them nervous. They don't love their country that much, Yeah. The biggest percentage by ethnicity in our military is Hispanics. But sure, let's put them all in deportation centers and detention centers,
and then start a fight with everybody,
and then start a war and got nobody
on the behalf of Netanyahu, mind you. Anyway, Beck, what you get?
You're going to see a lot of online propaganda to try to ramp things up about the fight, to recruit. But it's mostly propaganda and entertainment, because it's easier to pose in front of the deli meats with your gun than it is to get into uniform and go to war. But I'm getting that there's going to be it's going to ramp up online propaganda, like in chat spaces, all this other stuff, so like 4chan, what's the other, Reddit, places like that online. It's going to be mostly online, but it's propaganda.
It's posers.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what I get. Knight of Cups, it's all image. You'll get some people maybe take a trip to the REI and buy some camo clothes or something and go sit in their car talking about their patriotism. Something of that nature, but there will be an uptick in bone spurs. This is not what this says. This is what I'm saying. But there will be an uptick in bone spurs diagnosis. This is the Hermit.
They don't have vaccines for that? Oh, no. Wait, vaccines are bad. Vaccines are
They
bad.
need orthopedic shoes. And they don't have those in the Army, so I can't really go. It was like, this was years and years ago during Obama or something like that. They were talking about ISIS and ISIS this and ISIS that. And there was this guy in his car he was making a video, again, kind of like this. He's making a video talking to his children about, your dad is going to go fight to this and fight to that, and he's going to be tough and he's going to this. And I'm talking to my children. He didn't go anywhere, mind you. He's sitting in his car. And what happened is him and a few of his buddies, they went to some lodge or something like that. And there was this list. And this is what they were being made fun of. There was this list of stuff they wanted, and it was like French vanilla coffee creamer and like Ritz crackers. It's like, are you going to war? I thought you were going. What? You don't get French vanilla coffee creamer in Iraq.
Now you know that you're real woke libtard if you get the avocado toast.
Yes. Thank you very
truly yours. I had a client yesterday, and she knows who she is, that said, my idea of hell for Trump would be if he had to sit and watch, Obama back and forth holding his Nobel Prize and strutting around like for eternity, like watch films of Obama or something. Just
YouTube recommends it to me, and they should do it to him too. All those videos of Obama walking around, shaking people's hand, and going to the chocolate store and going to the watch store, and that's what because that's how Americans responded to Obama. The way they respond to Trump is with baby balloons and horrible signs with horrible words on it. Not horrible signs, but that's how they respond. Anyway, so it has come out, and the White House is, I guess, trying to play it off or saying it didn't happen or something of that nature, that Russia has provided Iran with a strategy. Yes.
I'm old enough to remember when Doge left all the doors open. I'm just saying.
Not even the back doors, all the doors.
All the doors, the windows, the crawl space, the gate.
And to make it worse, Grok has a contract with the Pentagon, because that's who you need anywhere near the Pentagon is Elon Musk.
And Palantir, he's got government contracts all over the place.
So Russia is being accused of providing intelligence of where American warships are and this, that, and other thing to Iran. First of all, can we see yes or no, is this true? And then I have a follow-up question to that. Yes, Trump says Russia isn't helping. He also said he didn't rape little kids. So there's that too.
Mm-hmm.
He also said he'd get the price of groceries down.
Mm-hmm.
I get a yes. Yeah, they've had a long time relationship with Iran. Have supplied them with wars and stuff, so they're supporting them, letting them know where to bomb for ships, to throw things out of balance. They're not done yet. There's more to come. They're also giving them some information on how to defend themselves. So maybe where, but there's Putin with information he's giving through his people. He's giving them information maybe on where we're attacking next. So he's getting pretty current info is what I'm getting.
The target, the attacks, the rupture, the danger, the goal, betrayal. Like I said, I'm old enough to remember when they gave them all the stuff. So it's like there's a wire or something. See what I'm saying? Like where they know where to target with precision. So
the King of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Cups, yes. King of Swords being Vlad, and the Wheel of Fortune, also my technology thing, and the Knight of Cups is an offer of some kind. It's commercial because he's not their friend either. They just have a mutual agreement of some kind. So my next question is, what is Donald's response? So far it has been he doesn't care, but
Golfing.
Make him care.
He was golfing.
Yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, he doesn't even know where he's at half the time.
This is true too.
So what was the question, Johnny?
What is his response?
I think he even knows where Iran is. He'd probably get a Sharpie out and draw it in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
It's in Greenland.
It's in Greenland. We need to go after Greenland because Iran's there.
I bet you anything he calls it Iran. What is his response?
I mean, he didn't care about Americans that were stuck over there. He's like, y'all need to get on the next flight out, like a domestic flight out. It's like missiles going off through the airs. Yeah, get on a plane. Let them take out the whole plane. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Our soldiers being attacked. He doesn't care.
He just said the other day, Americans are going to die abroad and here. Abroad and here. Again, he didn't blink an eye when millions of Americans died during COVID. He didn't blink an eye when the assassination attempt dude got and an innocent bystander got. What makes you think he would care if anything happened here? He's a freaking.
Yeah, and mind you,
he
was warned about COVID before COVID hit and said nothing. Like bring it on.
I saw something was it yesterday, Johnny, that he's suppressing the information coming out to warn Americans?
Yeah, that's on my list too.
We'll never know the true death count, guys. I mean, it just
No, they said 7.
I've been watching BBC and some other stuff from other countries because we will never get the truth here.
You're saying it's over what, like 1,000 or something like that now?
Yeah, I mean, there were 180 in the school that they bombed. He's trying to hang on to power and trying to hang on to the White House. He thinks he's successful, but he also thinks this will be slow moving. He's kind of waiting to see what the fallout with the Justice Department is, I think, over Epstein, because all this illumination on him and the Republicans. He's hearing a lot from Republicans about the Epstein files. So, you know, he doesn't care about this war. He's not even thinking about it. Look at me, victory. You know, he claimed victory. He's like, we won. No, it's still going on, dude. What an idiot.
What you get?
Ring letter, snake crossbirds. He's on the phone making calls, promising people certain things, trying to get people to commit and join him. But no, because he's a liar. He's gone back on his word to people that he promised stuff to, and those people are suffering. So what does he think about Russia? He's making phone calls, trying to work something out, but it ain't working. And that's another thing, because of the ring, the letter, the snake, and the cross, the agreements and the promises that he made to all the other countries over there, like the UAE, Qatar, and Bahrain, and all those other places. He turned his back on him, and they're getting plummeted over there. And now the billionaires over there are going, "What the hell are you doing?" You know,
I kind of wonder if somebody on the right will take him out, like from the Heritage Foundation or something. You know?
So, and mind you, yeah, where's the Board of Peace? All those people funded, all the people in the UAE and stuff gave him money for his war of peace because they were bribing him. So it's like these agreements and these promises that he's made people, they're lying and people are suffering for it, but he's on the phone trying to work something out, but it ain't gonna work out. So, and
we can't make business deals. He's a bad businessman. He's not a negotiator.
We've all seen Putin dog walk him on a global stage so many times that it's just like
that is the image that should be burned in forever. You're 15 feet tall and he's down here and you're hunched over because he's
Helsinki, where he dog walked him like a poodle with a bad haircut. You know, like
he owns him.
Yeah. Yes.
But that's what I get. Ace of Swords, he knows. So does he care? Is a whole different thing. There's the Judgment and the Nine of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. This is Donald Trump is profiting off of this too.
Yep.
And so there is tons and tons and tons and tons of money, and then agreements of some kind. And
he took all that oil from Venezuela and put it in his own personal bank account.
He does nothing if there's not money involved. If it doesn't benefit him, he's not going to do it.
This is the man who held the Bible upside down, and I'm starting to think that was not an accident. So, Pete Hegseth,
oh God,
gave another speech where he credited Stephen Miller for his role in the Iran attacks.
Can we send those two clowns, please? I'm sure they can have it all figured out and have that war won in 20 minutes.
With a squirt gun. Send them both out. What is Stephen Miller's role in the Iran war? This should be nothing, but Pete Hegseth says he commended Stephen Miller for his role in the Iran war. Well, he didn't call it war because they're trying not to say this is a war, but I'm saying that. It's just for clarification.
There's 17 countries involved.
Yeah.
And China and Russia are about to step in. Call it what it is.
Well, Trump threatened nuclear action, so yeah, call it what it is.
Bernie Sanders is calling it what it is.
This is something that he's very, very passionate about. Very passionate about. Talks to loser Trump about it all the time. Brings clarity or his point of view to Trump on it. Stealing foreign countries, stealing things from foreign countries, being all erratic, fighting foreign leaders, giving him the details of how to go about it. He's feeling very smug. He's not getting all the credit he'd like to get, but he's feeling very smug because he's an asshole. He'll be sitting in hell with Trump.
Crossweek Lily's Bird's house. What is his role? He's the go-between the senile old man that's fallen asleep and a higher up. But he's lying about what that higher up is saying. So this person,
their own agenda.
This person that is advising, don't do this, this is the da-da-da-da. He's the go-between that person and Trump, but he's twisting everything. So it's like he's in his ear. And he's saying things like, this is what I'm counseling, this is what I'm advising, yada, yada. But it's bad. It's bad. It causes a lot of pain and suffering, and it's a lie. It's a betrayal. But he's there to counsel and give wisdom and advice on how to achieve peace or something. You know what I mean? But he's lying to him, though. I just saw something the other day. I think Stephanie sent it to me, that somebody was saying that, and we know this from his first term, that he has surrounded himself with yes men, and everybody around him right now is telling him that this is going perfect. This is 90 to 90 out of 100, that this will help him win the midterms and everything. They're just creating a whole reality for this guy, and he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
It's for their own agenda.
Mm-hmm.
I get the lovers and the devil and the emperor. His role in this is very important because he is basically Donald Trump in this scenario.
Yep.
He is calling some sort of shots. Mind you, Netanyahu, this is his war. And we're funding it and been helping him blow up stuff. And the lovers and the devil, he is basically the stupid whisperer. And he is talking to Donald Trump, and like Becca said, with the Knight of Cups, telling him what he wants to hear, that this is all great, this is all grand, you're doing a wonderful job, you're the commander-in-chief, the emperor, has no clothes or clothes. And so, not the generals, Stephen Miller.
Yep.
Okay. So they have come out with a new report that they have, what was the guy's name? The leader, Kamani, not Kamani. What's his name? Anyway, that guy. They said they killed his son too, and he was supposed to be second in charge. Not Steve Hegseth, maybe Steve Hegseth and what you call it, Miller.
And
but
Hegseth
said that there was an assassination attempt foiled on Donald Trump. Not the guy who tried to climb into Mar-a-Lago. He said there was another one, but again, this is coming from them. So anyway,
can we please not miss the next time, please?
He said there was another one, but he is basically saying it was coming from that side over in Iran, or some rogue terrorist is trying to target the president.
Like
and foiled, and we stopped them, and we're brave, and so forth.
They tried to say also that Iran bombed their own girls' school.
Yeah.
So wait, hold on. You're saying that the Ayatollah's son died? I thought he died. I thought he died with his whole entire family. He went home with his whole entire family when they.
Well, I guess it was confirmed. They said they got him, and then they got the son. So,
to my understanding,
and he may have several sons. May have had several sons, but from what I've heard, his son is worse than the original.
Yeah.
No, from what I've heard from abroad is that it was the entire family was with him.
Well, I seen today that they killed his son. Whenever it happened, that's not the issue. What I'm going for is they have now taken out prominent figures over there, and their side is saying, no peace talks. What I want to know is, will they target not Donald Trump, but prominent figures over here, like our political Lindsey Graham's and stuff, but not him in particularly. I'm just
Elon Musk.
All I'm saying is we don't want this, Iran. We really, really, really like the Persians. Go to Mar-a-Lago.
I mean, we'll give them to you if you just.
I mean, please, you don't even have to pay us. We don't even have to pay us.
Because they claim that they foiled an attempt on Donald Trump, but will there be attempts on any other prominent figures, political figures, not George Clooney, political, not entertainment figures, political figures?
Moses Mike. You want to make it a holy war? Take out Moses Mike.
Yep. Nail him to a cross too while you're at it. Let's see if he comes back in 3 days.
He'll be fine. The Lord is his shepherd, and he shall not want.
Entertainment purposes only. YouTube.
YouTube is entertained.
They will target taking out Republicans and family members of Trump's. They may have somebody on the inside in security. That's interesting. They got all kinds of spies. It's been there for a while. They may also, because the best way to get to Americans is to go after innocent people, just like them going after the girls' school. They may do something to send a message about children, so they may go after, sad but true, something connected with children.
While we're here, just a quick reminder, the Geneva Convention that military and all governments agreed to, which is supposed to be how to conduct yourself like a gentleman during a time of war, blah, blah, blah. Trump is committing war crimes like nobody's business. Bombing a school full of children, just like Netanyahu did in Pakistan, that's a war crime. Bombing the desalinization plants, that's a war crime.
And hospitals.
And hospitals, all of that shit is a war crime, just like Israel was doing to the Palestinians.
Putin was doing to Ukraine.
Those are all war crimes. So I get the mountain, the clover, the mice. Enemy, opportunity for a team to take something away. I'm going to go with, but I don't think it's going to be like a 9/11 sort of situation where it's so grand. It's going to be more personalized, but it comes from a team. So not to be alarmist, but sleeper cells or whatever. So, but it's
their own version of a SEAL Team 6.
There's teams of enemies that are just waiting for a chance. So
I get the 9 of Swords, 5 of Swords. So there is worry about the bully or the person who goes outside of the rules there. The 6 of Wands would be the important person. They are more so worried because there's probably threats issued. But I think the intelligence is good enough to where they won't actually lose life, this person, whoever it is. But that doesn't stop anything because there's the Devil and the 3 of Pentacles. There is still collaborations. And one of the things that, since we've known this man, that we kept trying to say is your enemy is actually in your camp. And it's even more so now, especially if he doesn't play ball like he's supposed to. But this is some collaborative effort to continue the evil or the corruption or something of that nature. So they're still going to be targeted. The thing is how durable, how perseverant will your security be? Will they continue to be the thing that is in the way between you and a stray bullet or something like that? Will it wear down at some point? Hopefully for you it will not, but
it could be a cook that's making your lunch.
Collaborative effort, somebody that works for you.
It could be a person that's doing your dry cleaning. It could be your driver.
Or the wife that you bought. I mean, we weren't talking about him, but still. Well, I asked again, is his children safe? All 5 of them, where they got 5? All 5 of them. Are they safe?
Who? Mangoes?
Trump's kid.
You know, I keep going back to 9/11. You know, most of the terrorists were from Saudi Arabia, and we never went into Saudi Arabia. We went into Iraq and Afghanistan, and then went across the border into Pakistan to get Osama bin Laden. You know, there's so much money and strategy and crap going on behind the scenes. We'll never have a clear picture of who's on whose side. Underhanded deals.
They just all want money.
Yeah.
For the love of money is the root to many evils, the good book says. So there is that.
They're all a part, you know.
And I'm just over here smirking at the fact that dictator this, dictator that, every single one of those UAE nations that have personally funded you, not the government, you personally are now experiencing what it's like dealing with Donald Trump. Another FAFO situation, like Johnny was saying, lemmings off a cliff. You thought handing him billions of dollars was going to save your neck.
Yes. His kids, yes, taking action against his children, yes. To bring heartbreak, but it's also because they're paid to do it. Trump would sacrifice his own kids if he could make money off it.
He tried to sleep with his own daughter.
Yeah.
Lord Jesus.
Trafficker, you know.
That part.
And he married an Epstein girl, you know, that's, or woman, I should say. She wasn't underage like the rest of them.
She was fully depreciated.
She was fully depreciated, though. That's the best line ever. Fully depreciated. She probably been treated. Probably been treated, you know, because Epstein paid for all their gynecological beds and everything. And
that's probably where he got that recipe from.
Yeah, I guarantee you, Melania had a few rounds of antibiotics when she was younger.
Like, sir, Skittles are not medicine. Okay, put that down. Becca, what you got?
Cross tree child. Yeah, one of the children suffers health, something with their health. They suffer. It's painful. So I don't know which one it'll be.
We have cheery cards.
It could be Junior. Junior might have
yeah. Because he's going to have leaky bowel syndrome too, with all that stuff he keep putting up his nose.
I mean, those powdered donuts, man, I heard they can give you diarrhea after a while.
It'd be just like his father.
You know, and he's over there with the hookers and blow. So it's not like it's hard to do.
That was the craziest. I've never seen that in my life. You reaching your what the? That blew me. Oh, and the clip was like 5 seconds long, and I'm like, did you just do that on TV in front of everybody? Oh my god!
Yeah, doing the gummies, doing
Oh
the
my
gummies.
god! You got a little
You got a
pixie
fully
things,
depreciated
dip it in there,
woman, drug addict's sons,
But
who also went with him to Epstein. That's all over the Epstein files. You got a daughter that's married to
the devil.
Mm-hmm.
the devil, that's all about money, that would leave her and the kids in a heartbeat because he's in bed with the Saudis.
No, like literally. I
Literally.
bet
you he's their boy. I bet you he's their boy.
I bet you Jared Kushner is bottom. He doesn't come across as a top shelf. I bet you he's a bottom.
Well, no, never mind.
Anyway.
This is the Petty Boots Club.
Jesus. What was the question? Okay, is his kid safe? So picture it. Sicily, 1922. I was sitting here in the dark, kind of like this, but darker. And I heard that one of his children is going to. I heard that in my ear, mind you. I don't get hits often, right? Because I'm always talking. So, when you're always talking, you don't shut up long enough.
When Johnny gets hits out of the blue like that, they're spot on. I mean, he got one about a cat of mine. I won't go into the whole story that passed away years ago, but he got a very specific hit about a cat of mine that was true.
And they just told me kind of casually, like they were walking by and said, oh, donuts are on sale for 2 for 1 or something. Like, such as very casual, like one of his kids are gonna, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how, why, what's going on? They don't tell you that part, and they don't even tell me who. But what I get, and it could be Jared since he's an in-law, but if they chase money, something bad happens. So if they go from here to over there for the sake of greed, because this is the devil, 6 of Pentacles would be like payouts and things of that nature. Knight of Wands is a relocation of some kind, and then there's the death. If they go chasing the shiny and the glittery, something is going to happen, especially right now. When I heard that, there was no war going on, so I didn't see none of this happening. So we'll see. Watch this space.
Over trying to make your Riviera paradises everywhere, but somebody's going to take you out.
That's the problem, I think. Okay. The administration is hiding threats against us. Why? Now, for the benefit of the doubt, are they doing so because they think we cannot handle knowing that we're being threatened? Or are they trying to cover something up? Because remember, this is not a war. Why are they hiding the threats against us?
The cover-up administration, and they don't care if we die. They don't care if the soldiers die.
But my question is anybody surprised though? He did the same thing during COVID. If I hide the numbers, nobody will know. Again, tapar el sol con un dedo. And I got to tell you, this man is dumber than I thought, because to do this before the midterms.
I got that on the list.
I'm not a smart man. Yeah,
I mean, I guess the J in his name is for genius,
Okay.
What's our question?
Why are they hiding it from us?
Oh.
The threats against us. Other countries or whoever we're bombing currently at the moment apparently are issuing threats.
Because if they had their way, they would put all the liberals in detention centers too and ship us overseas.
Absolutely.
They don't want us here.
Well, you know that Israel is 5 years in prison for anybody over there filming what's happening in Tel Aviv, right?
Oh, really?
Yep. 5 years in prison, 5 years in prison for taking out your phone and filming what they're doing. We're getting all the live reports from people that are there from like China and other places. And there was a lady, I think it was on CNN the other day, Johnny, where they were, and I saw it on TikTok. I have the video, I'll show it to you later. They were talking, and the reporter, the anchor, was saying, Israel doesn't want us to report on this. That slipped out of her mouth. I was like, damn.
This is Republicans' justice in their way to try to stay in power, to bring strength to them. They don't want people to know. Isolate, distract, look over here. They don't want people assessing and talking about what's going on in the White House. And we all know what's going on. So, tell Americans we're victorious, and don't tell them, they're in danger.
Anchor, man, stars, moon, letter. This is all to make him look good. That's all it is. So if a base here in the U.S. gets, oh, well, don't report on that, because all he cares about is the image that he's putting out. Anchor, man, stars, and moon. I just want to look good. Don't report anything that doesn't make me look good.
That thing doesn't make you look good.
Regardless of, he starts a draft next week, I don't want anybody to know, because I have to look good to the expense of everybody else. And we've seen this with him on everything: COVID, jobs numbers, unemployment numbers, everything.
Taking vaccines off the market. I mean, everything.
Like, we can't go outside and see that everybody's unemployed and small towns are suffering. So long as it looks good. Like, he views the world through the lens of propaganda and television. He thinks that if you push out a certain message, enough people will believe it. Well, that's kind of hard when people go to pump gas. Yesterday was $1.25. Today is $3.75 or whatever it is in some of these towns. You can only tell them so much before. I mean, MAGA's brain dead. Like, they will gladly pump $800 worth of gas in their car and be like, this is great. This is America. This is our freedom. Where the rest of everybody's going, the hell? The gas is over $5 here, and then there's places in LA where it's over $8 right now.
They're like, go Trump, go fight. I guarantee you a lot of MAGA people, even their children, don't go into the military,
Thank you, Hunter, and thank you, Torp. I got the 8 of Wands, the Queen of Cups, 5 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, 8 of Cups, High Priestess. It's a cover-up because they don't want you to know.
Yep.
And yes, it does look bad. And if they were to tell us this, then people would panic and then lose faith. Because, mind you, let me say this. Iran doesn't have the biggest chance in the world of defeating Israel and the U.S. Okay, fine. But you never know. But they don't have the best. Thank you, Gloria. So he can then count it and say, oh, victory, because, we blew him to hell, whatever. But at the same time, what did you lose? He doesn't care. What did it cost you? He doesn't care.
Nope.
But he also does not want you to lose faith in their mission, because the mission they're putting forth to us is that this is a rogue state. The mission that they have is we want to steal all their stuff. So he doesn't want us to know, and it looks bad if we do.
But Johnny, explain it to me like I'm stupid. Do you have a problem with the rogue state yet? Everybody that's giving you money personally are dictators.
Yes.
Make that make sense.
Dictators or pedophiles.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, I want to read something here. Tova Noel, or Noel, or Noel, however you want to say Noel. Tova Noel, on duty at New York's Metropolitan Correctional Center, ran Google searches for latest on Epstein in jail at 5:42 a.m. and at 5:52 a.m. on August the 10th, 2019. This person did not know who Epstein was when Epstein was in the jail at the time when they were on duty. So they Googled Epstein, or latest on Epstein. Okay, and her colleague found him unresponsive at 6:30 a.m. Just 30 odd so minutes later, he was found unresponsive after she started Googling latest on Epstein. Or I assume, I don't know if it's he or she. Tova is the name.
The female, I think.
Oh, no, it is the she, because it said her colleague. Okay. And the medical examiner ruled it by suicide by hanging. Bank records showed Noelle, Tova, her, made 7 cash deposits totaling over $11,800 from December 2018 to the date of his death, 2019 of August, including $5,000, one deposit of $5,000 just 11 days prior to him being found unresponsive. Now, it was flagged by a suspicion by her bank because $5,000, thank you, Gigi, all at one time she never had before. So it was flagged by the bank.
It's all done through Venmo, too.
And mind you, the bank does this, they just did it to me. They do that by AI, by automate. So it's not a person going in pushing hold funds type of thing. And it was flagged as suspicion by the bank. An inmate overheard guards amid the shouts of breathe, breathe, talk of a cover-up, with some blaming Noelle. So some of the guards were talking about Epstein and cover-ups and all of these different types of things before he was found unresponsive. So will the death, and here's a little caveat in here too, very important. Will the death of Epstein be investigated after 2026? Because they can't do it now because the DOJ doesn't investigate things like this. They won't even investigate Renee Good, who we saw on video being murdered by ICE. So they're not going to investigate Epstein because it blows way too many things open. So after 2026, assuming the Democrats take some sort of power somewhere, will there be an investigation into the death of Jeffrey Epstein?
Got a purr pot sitting next to me. Here's the investigator, somebody bullying Epstein. Everybody's talking about it, of course. Some kind of corruption or misdeed going on here. Everything's about to change in this case is what I'm getting, because nobody accepts that he did himself in. Nobody accepts that. So, yes, they're going to look at who was in partnership with this, who knew the secrets, who came together over this. You know, get Bill Barr in there. There's definitely going to be somebody that plays a star role in his death that's going to get questioned. And something about moving him also. So whether that was in the ambulance or something, maybe get an ambulance driver in there.
I get the bear, the cross, the bouquet. Yes, they're going to look at the boss that may have sacrificed him, or a powerful financier. Or maybe it's both. But it's someone with a lot of power and an enormous amount of wealth that had that person sacrificed. Thank you for the sacrifice. So
I get sure, but it may take a little bit longer than that because there's the Temperance and the Queen of Cups. So the Temperance is kind of a slow moving process, but it is not a no. So there will be something there. The Six of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords, money changing hands for death or murder, and also information being exchanged as well. The Knight of Wands and the Chariot, this will move forward. You just need to gather all of the information and the sides and so forth and so forth. There is a woman who is incarcerated with the Queen of Wands and the Eight of Swords who can shed some light on this situation. And then there's the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is slow moving as well, but this is also the gatherer, the farmer, the person who puts a lot of effort into the thing that they do. And so this is not going to be sloppy. This is someone who dots the I's and crosses the T's, and the Queen of Swords is legal matters. So I say yes.
Dude, the amount of investigations after this is going to be insane. It's going to take like 40 years.
So there were some switching complete gears here. We'll get out of Trump land for a second, sort of. There was some murders at the College of Idaho, or a college in Idaho. There were 4 people murdered, and when these things happen, everybody talks about it and so forth and so forth. So a psychic on TikTok was doing her reading because she's a tarot reader. And she blamed the murders on a professor there at the University of Idaho. This person has no connection to any of that, no connection to the people who were murdered, the families, and none of that. Just completely different thing. But the tarot reader on TikTok blamed it on her. Now, at first, she was basically saying, it's just somebody goofy on the internet, pay no mind to it, that type of thing. But she was relentless with this person murdered those 4 people. So the university, or the professor at the university, had to take action at that point. So she has won a judgment in the amount of $10 million. I don't know where she's going to get it from, but that ain't none of my business. $10 million against the tarot TikToker.
Oh, so the tarot TikToker lost?
Yes, because they were the ones, telling the whole world that this woman had nothing to do with that she was the one connected and killed all these people.
For entertainment purposes, only YouTube.
So she pushed the false claims, and she lost her $10 million. She lost the case and $10 million verdict. My question is, because it had a jury and the whole thing. Not what was she thinking? Because again, some people pay attention. Some people get on social media, whether it's YouTube or TikTok or wherever, just for the likes and the clicks and the views and the engagement and all that kind of thing. They chase attention. And when you can be salacious, no matter what it is that you hold it in your hand, you're going to do that, because if people are responding to it, people like mess. And then people think that because you do this, you must have some sort of knowledge I don't have, especially when they don't do this. I said to everybody way back in the day when I first started YouTube, and I was being defensive too, to where they'd say, why are you reading on that? You should read on this. And the first thing I would say is, why don't you learn to read tarot, and then you can read on what you want to read on? Because this is not impossible. It just takes some work, because there's 78 cards, there's a bunch of stuff. It's a process to learning tarot. You can't just pick it up and do it overnight. I don't care how gifted you are. Okay. So people chase attention. People chase salaciousness.
That's true outside of tarot also. I mean, yes. You look at all the pop-up news people all over YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok and stuff. It's like they're telling their opinions.
Everybody is on bombshell, breaking news, and Breaking news: Donald Trump has red shoelaces. Like it's just something to get people to click and watch. What I want to know is, will this change her behavior? I forget, but I don't think our article did say what the child name. No, it was Ashley something. Wait, let me find it. Her name is Ashley. That's her name. But they gave her TikTok name instead of like her name. Dang it either. Anyway, her name is Ashley. Just go with that. Will this change her behavior?
What she reads on and stuff.
Okay. Ashley is in the Book of Life number 4. That's her TikTok name. Ashley is in the Book of Life 4. Now, mind you, she had 100,000 followers. So she had some attention. This is how some people, that's all they care about. But anyway.
There's a fine line between your First Amendment rights and defamation. There is a huge fine line.
I mean, Fox News taking the hat off of Trump when he was saluting the Coppins. That's a lie. Why aren't somebody going after them? It's not defamation, but it's a lie. It's false news.
I know, but that's different because that got taken away during when the fairness doctrine was removed by Reagan. Okay, so they can just manufacture stuff and put it out. And every time they go to court, we're not a news broadcast station, we're entertainment. Mm-hmm. That's different. But when you're personally defaming an individual, you're skirting right up there, and that's probably why she lost the case, because there is evidence of her defaming and you're causing harm to that person, their reputation, their career, their livelihood, so
Cardi B and Tasha K, she and Cardi B, the rapper, she even asked Tasha K, the vlogger, stop saying this, stop saying that. And she kept going. That next thing you know, you owe her $5 million or whatever it is. So,
but at the same time, when we do a question, I mean, we sort of defame people all the time in Petty Boots. We make fun of them, right? I stood on the street in front of my house on Founders Day when they were lining up for the parade, and the Republican float people started attacking me because I had a Democratic sign in my yard. And I stood out in the street yelling, "Trump's a pedophile, Trump's a pedophile." Now, come on. Yeah, talk about defamation, right? Mm-hmm. Allegedly. I yelled, "Trump's a pedophile."
But that wouldn't exactly be defamation, because if he ever
took truth.
If he ever took it to court, it would come out in discovery.
Yeah,
you don't
bring it out in discovery.
You don't see him suing anybody that's accusing him, because he knows all that crap would come out in discovery.
Right. But like when we've read on the Epstein unalive himself, and always got no. But
we think Bill Barr had something to do with it. We don't care.
Well, that's a little bit of defamation, possibly, but allegedly, Bill Barr had something to do with it. So, semantics. It's semantics.
I mean, you ain't gonna get $10 million out of me, so you go right ahead.
I mean, is the YouTuber or the TikToker even worth $10 million? Like, no. I'm like, where's she gonna get that? How is she gonna pay that back?
No, she can't. But shall she change her behavior?
She's looking at how to restructure her channel and hang on to her subscribers. She feels bullied. I mean, this just blew up in her face. Is she in jail now?
I don't think so. No, they're saying that the person that did
actually did it is in jail. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's something about somebody in jail. She's looking at the money too and trying to figure out where am I going to come up with it. But also, how is she going to continue to make steady money? So, girl, basically they're going to garnish your wages. So every dime you make on TikTok now, there's going to be a portion that goes to pay this back. She likes the celebrity as a psychic. She has some regrets on the work that she put out there. Is she going to change? She's gonna have to watch her words. She's got to watch how she says it.
They're saying in the chat that she was sent multiple cease and desist letters.
Yes, she was.
And then she decided to represent herself.
Oh, that was smart.
She was psychic. Something told her to do it.
Yeah.
I get the Clover, the stars, the writer. Will this make her change her behavior? I'm going to go with the yes. She's going to go in a different direction, perhaps do more like celebrity stuff, maybe.
Do P. Diddy next.
Something a little bit more lighthearted and fun versus something so heavy where you can really cause somebody. She's still going to keep doing what she's doing, but if it's true crime or whatever it is that she's doing now, I don't know who she is. She's going to go in a different direction and keep it a little bit more lighthearted. So
they like the sensation that someone sent me a thing. Can you read on, this was a long time ago when she disappeared from the public space. Can you read on Prince's, what's his name, Catherine, the other one, not the Megan, the other girl, because she disappeared and some psychic says she was dead. And I'm like, no, I'm not. No, thank you. It's like
alive.
Low hanging fruit. No, thank you.
And that's why, just to put it out there, like when people, and it irks me every time I see it in the chat or on the questions, so-and-so got this, can you check? No, I'm not here to validate somebody else's readings. You want clarification, go back to where you heard it. Don't.
Yeah,
that's also why we don't like you talking about other psychics in the chat, because we may or may not agree with them. And also, I think it's rude. I would not go into someone else's chat and say, well, I got this. I think that's rude.
And they're not here to back up their reading or defend themselves.
That's
or,
right.
And just like when you play telephone, by the time it gets from here to over there, it's changed 15 times,
The only time you'll see me say what I got on someone else's channel is if they ask me, Jen, have you read on this? What'd you get? That's the only time. But otherwise, when somebody else is reading that they're doing their thing, I'm not gonna comment.
I got the Empress, the Hermit, the Page of Swords. She'll still lie. She'll just do it about somebody else, because that's all she really cares about is the growth. With the Empress, the lies will grow.
She didn't learn.
No. I mean, you don't have to.
I mean, if I got $10 million lawsuit, I would learn real quick to shut my damn mouth.
Okay, you can come after me for $38.16. I ain't saying nothing else about you, okay.
I want to say one more thing about disagreeing with psychics. We have a mutual respect club here. Like, if we get something different, we're okay with that. We respect each other as readers. And you will see that from time to time that we get different things, or maybe picking up energetically on different things going on. That's another reason why I'm not going to go on somebody else's chat and sit there and say, no, it's this. That's rude.
Thank you, SW. Petty Lane Junction. Okay.
Ready.
I want to know, is this a true story, or is somebody trying to make him look bad? This is about Donald Trump. Okay, we're going to be fair.
It's true.
I believe it, but I mean, when I tell you the story,
okay,
you can see how it would be true. Trump National Golf Club, Westchester, was cited by local health officials for critical violations, according to recently released records. November 20th, 2025, just a few months ago, inspection of inspection of Donald Trump's New York club where Westchester County Department of Health officials observed insects, rodents, and other violations.
So Stephen
According to
Miller was
Tuesday's
running
report,
around.
the club cited for dirty surfaces, food that was uncovered, mislabeled, and stored on the floor. Now, I will say this, okay, just as a side note. As a person who has worked in many places where food was part of your business, putting food on, you should always have a pallet, and then the food sits on the pallet. You should never have the food directly on the floor. Putting the food directly on the floor, though, is convenient because you take it off the thing and you'll stack it on the floor.
Yeah,
so I understand why it would be there, but not why it would stay there. It is a health violation, and everybody knows it. Just put that out there.
And by the way, a mouse can climb a pallet too.
Yes, they can. So dirty surfaces, food that were uncovered, mislabeled, and stored on the floor, missing and inadequate sneeze guards, rooms that were said to be poorly constructed and in disrepair. The building has also suffered from inadequate lighting and ventilation. Is all this true, or is someone trying to make them look bad?
I bet you, listen. I bet you they serve toilet.
Wait a minute, whole time. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I bet you that they serve toilet water so that they don't have to run the tap.
This is a man with no taste who served Burger King to our Olympic men's hockey team. I mean, this man eats crap all day, every day. Even on Air Force One, he's serving them cold Burger King, that they go and get before they go to the plane.
That's a shame.
He wouldn't know if food was dirty or not because he's never.
He can't even blend his makeup right, you guys. Like
he's just oozing pus and everything else out. What is it he said like about women like oozing blood everywhere,
bleeding out of your new what's or something like that.
Yeah.
Something about blood.
Yeah, well, now look at him. His nastiness is just oozing out.
And
everywhere.
mind you, back in the day, what's the child name? Mika Brzezinski, when she had her facelift and then he dogged her out because she was bleeding from her eyes or her ears or wherever. Look at him now.
Yeah.
He got a whole Cabbage Patch Kid growing on the side of his head. He's talking about somebody else's blood. Boy.
We got to read on what is that mess.
Yes, that's on the list. What's wrong with him?
Google says yes. Department of Health, 32 out of 100 on his scores. He's known for not taking care of his properties. He's got hoochie coochie mamas running all over Mar-a-Lago. He stacked documents in the shitter.
This is the typical slap lipstick on a pig person. He will cut corners on everything. Oh, drywall? No, you know what? The nails are too expensive. Let's save 50 cents. Only put 2 nails up there.
Mm-hmm.
He's so long as it looks pretty, who cares if it's structurally sound or safe to eat, or you can get lead poisoning or eat a cockroach in your omelet,
Eric the wall licker needs to go there and start licking the walls and see if he doesn't catch something. It's like, yes, it's true. Clear as a bell, true. He's going to be very slow to take an action about this. He's trying to figure out how to hang on to the place and who to pay off to get him to go away. So, this is probably something that Snorty Jr. and I Pace were supposed to take care of. He's not happy about this investigation because it's something that the kids were supposed to tamper down. Yeah, he's gonna have a problem if they don't shut him down. I'd be surprised.
I'd be happy.
Listen, I know the question was, if it's true, I'm going to say yes. But my
Did you get the mice?
No, I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't get the mice. But my cards just gave me a glimmer of hope. Get your voodoo doll out, Johnny. Chronically ill with his heart. I know we were asking about the food and the allegations. Yes. Chronic illness with his heart. Look, I'm going to say yes, but I hope he dies. I hope his heart just gives out like this week, today, tomorrow.
Is that the path of the blood clot? Don't live your life in a way in which people wish you would die.
Not just people, the entire world.
The entire world.
I just saw a TikTok the other day. There was a girl that went to Ireland and stopped at a pub, and they had the news on the TV, and they asked her where she was from, and she said American, and they asked her, who did you vote for? And she said, I don't want this to get political. That right there tells me you're a MAGA.
Yeah.
That right there, because if you voted for Trump and you were proud of it, you should say
Own it.
An old damn chest. And she was so confused as to why people in Ireland had a problem. It said, because the man is a global menace. The entire world hates him. And your entitlement to go to a foreign country and get insulted, that they're asking you because what he's doing is affecting them. I'm just like, these people are.
If I traveled internationally, I'd wear a T-shirt. Don't blame me for Trump. I voted for the woman.
I
voted for the woman.
Yep.
Thank you, Rose Bloom. Chariot, Knight of Wands, Eight of Wands, Hierophant, and the Knight of Swords. This didn't answer the question either. What this says is, they didn't answer that one either. Right? This says more so that there's going to be not emergency vehicles, but I mean, a police car could still be an emergency vehicle technically too at some point. But there's something around emergency vehicles.
Maybe somebody gets food poisoning.
Something happens. There's an emergency vehicle going, but the Hierophant is the government.
Somebody gets sick there.
This would be more like Mar-a-Lago, since he uses it as his White House, apparently, in his Situation Room. So I don't know if it's Mar-a-Lago. I'm just saying this is something in the government, but I'm going to say Mar-a-Lago because the Knight of Wands is a different location. So there's an emergency vehicle, and then there is this place. So it's either the White House or it's his Southern White House. I'm just saying.
Hopefully he's on the crapper one day and the ceiling caves in on him or something, you know. I'm just, listen. Anyway, he's got to go. He's got to go, man.
Oh, speaking of gotta goes, did you hear? Okay. I want to know, is Kristi Noem satisfied with her new position? Now, I wrote it down. Wait a minute.
I forgot what her new one is called. Something.
I wrote it down. She is the special envoy to the Shield of America Western Hemisphere Security Initiative.
What the hell is the Shield of America?
What knows any of it?
Border protection without being over DHS. She's still there.
Second of all, that's not a congressionally approved department, just like Doge wasn't. So,
which means he doesn't have to get approval from Congress for her.
Meanwhile, Mark Wayne Gacy over here is
Listen, I'm just waiting for them to open up a new department, Guardians of the Galaxy or something. I mean, this guy's
They did. When Mike Pence was there, they had Guardians of the Galaxy because they had a new program. I don't know if it was NASA related, but they had a new program where they were literally called. They weren't called Guardians of. Were they called Guardians of the Galaxy or Protectors of the Galaxy? Something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So where they had basically a space police force.
Whoever is running this damn simulation, stop. Just stop. This is not fun.
Where'd that go? Where'd that go? Yes, because that wasn't the one. There it goes. Shield is a part of Marvel. That is like their secret agency type of thing. Yeah.
Well, I'm part of the Get Smart team. Let me talk on my shoe phone.
They keep leaving him in front of the TV way too long.
I bet you one of these mornings somebody gonna walk in and see Donald Trump talking to his shoe. One of these mornings. I'm like, Mr. President, are you all right? Shh, I'm on hold with McDonald's.
I'm on the phone with Putin. Hang on.
He's gonna say he's on the phone with the president of Puerto Rico.
Oh my God.
Greenland, if you're listening.
Oh my God. Yes, Cat Williams had that joke. He said, Donald Trump said he was talking to the president of Puerto Rico. And he said, you are the president of Puerto Rico. He says, so now I want to know, pardon my language, who the fuck was you talking to? Anyway, does she like her new job as the shield of the Western Hemisphere? That was my question.
Space Force is all about Trump's brain. It's all the space in his head. Thanks,
Thank
Eddie.
you. I swear I'm more behaved than this.
Okay, so what's our question?
Does she like her new job, her new position?
How does she like her new position as the special envoy to the Shield of America Western Hemisphere Security Initiative?
I just saw a video with a cousin of hers who said she has always been awful. Her favorite movie is Carrie, and she thinks it's a comedy, the horror movie Carrie, and always laugh when they drop the bucket of blood on her and stuff. It's like she's always been awful. I
will admit, I like when she killed all the people because they were mean to her.
Deservedly so.
But I didn't laugh. I just felt, you've been vindictive.
It was, he was talking about, like, they've tried talking to her about, okay, how many more hair extensions are you going to put in there? And all the surgery she's had done and stuff. It's like,
she wants to be a Muppet.
Listen, I'm not opposed to women getting cosmetic surgery or nip and tucks, but this whole Mar-a-Lago look is like, do you not own a mirror? Do you not, like, please stop,
Yes, I was rooting for Carrie. I'm weird that way. I was rooting for Christine too. Chase him down. I was not rooting for Cujo. That's one I will say. that ain't my vibe right there.
Was she just recently involved in another sexual affair?
It was, I don't know if she was involved in another one, but her current one was being highlighted on Twitter just 2 days ago.
Because the garden, the whip, the heart, does she like her new position? Yes, but there's something here where it's out in the public around a sexual affair that she's involved in or will be involved in. And I see her getting drug up in front of committee again.
Because what they were also highlighting with bringing it back up is the fact that so much money has been spent or given or stolen between these two people. They didn't use the word stolen, but so much money is involved.
It's stolen. It's stolen. These people are just sitting there literally looting the treasury and American people.
Well, and Corey Lewandowski, who she's been having the affair with, his signature has to be on everything that was over $100,000. And he's not, his position doesn't really exist. She made it up, So
Peggy Breen said, "How about Chucky?" I didn't root for Chucky. I don't root for the bad guy when it's the baby children involved. When it's a little kid because he was trying to hurt the kid. But any grown people, I kind of root for the bad guys sometimes.
How's she feeling? She's feeling like she's still supported. She's still an agent of chaos. So she's still gonna, she's feeling very smug that she got away with some things, especially financial, quite a bit of finances. She's looking forward to growing security at the border. hanging on to her position for a while, and she's got others she's working with. So she's feeling fine.
7 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. All she cared about is that she can steal more money.
Listen, man. Listen. Yep. I'm going to say it. If we ever get a decent attorney general, they better hold every single one of these mofos accountable, because I have lost track of how many billions of dollars they have siphoned out of people. And it's not freaking Johnny bucks. It's real money. Can't have healthcare, can't have freaking weather services, can't have anything, because they're siphoning all the money to themselves.
But you can have a war.
I say send her little fire hydrant shorty, Greg Bovino, down there to the border to work with her, and let's see if they can have an affair. They could have little Muppets.
He's being investigated for throwing a gas canister at somebody or something like that. Did Bovino go?
Yeah.
So next question, or last question. I'm going to tell my story after this. Will they talk about dropping nukes? Anybody, not just Trump, but will we hear conversation about dropping nuclear weapons?
I think he's already mentioned it, but
he has.
Like I was telling you guys in the before show, we're talking about a man that was entertaining the idea of nuking a hurricane because it was making him look bad, and that was before he took the Sharpie to the map.
He would have cleared out all of Florida by nuking a hurricane.
Mind you, they want to nuke Mars too. It's more science behind that one, but they want to do that too. They can't
see what would have
blow up something.
He is so stupid, it is not even funny.
He's beyond stupid, dude. Like the rock in your garden is smarter than him. At least it serves a purpose. Yeah. That voodoo doll you have is more intelligent. Johnny, stick a pin in his mouth. Stick a pin in his mouth. Shut up.
Maybe he'll get laryngitis.
Oh my God, you know what that looks like? That looks like he got into a talk with Lindsey Graham right there.
It looks like a pacifier. Lord Jesus. I still play with dolls. Lord, help us somebody, anybody. Who's writing this story?
Whoever's running this simulation, dude, stop it.
There's agreements about nuclear stuff. I think like judgment would come. Well, he'd rapture half the world up if it made him money, but I think the judgment would be so harsh against him. So I get, loser Trump. He's smug enough. Yeah, if he could get away with it, yes, he would do a nuclear bomb, allegedly. But I think Republicans might actually try to reel him in a little bit if he went nuclear.
He wouldn't even tell anybody. He'll just do it and be like,
he's not supposed to have war powers, and he's just doing it. So you're right. He just do whatever he wants.
He'll just do it because the entire Congress has abdicated their responsibility.
Yeah. Creating a draft, somebody was coming, like a draft has to be created with Congress and the president. No, he would just do it.
He would just do it, just like he just
over and over.
Tariffs, just like he decided everything he's decided he's done by overstepping Congress, and Congress has just sat there and said, well, there's nothing we can do. There is something you can do. You're just refusing to do it. Yeah. To show power and strength and control. But you're going to have a small group of very wealthy, very rich people that are going to say WTF. So again, I don't know if these are the UAE oligarchs that are going to be like, hey, you drop a bomb over there, we're screwed, you know? But what I'm also seeing here, not so much about the nukes, because it's the bear, the child, the fish. It's not so much about to show control and looking big and powerful in this. There's something here where they want a new currency. They want a new currency. This is wealth and power, new shopping, independence. It's like they want a new economic system, new currency. Does that make sense?
So I don't know if it's true because I didn't look it up. You shouldn't get news from one source necessarily. But this wasn't a news story. This was just a guy talking to another guy type of thing. He said he was in China and he had some sort of card that wouldn't work, that he's trying to pay with. And somebody told him, get the Panda card. And he was like, what is that? And they said, this is basically the card that works with the BRICS, the China and the this place and the that place. And it does not take American money, or it won't, because see, if you run a credit card from the US anywhere in the world, even for a split second, that currency runs through New York. According to his story, runs through New York because that's where the banking and all that crap is. So it runs through New York and then it goes over there. So even for a split second, it is still having to deal with the US and transactions. So they have their own little world currency set up to where it runs through these places and has nothing to do with the US.
What is BRICS? What is that? Does that stand for something?
That's
Brazil,
the India and China something and something. It's like
Brazil, Argentina, and I forget who else is in it. Russia,
but their own little coalition that has nothing to do with the U.S.
I have never heard of that before, but I don't know what that reading was talking about BRICS. But it's like they want a new currency, so it's not just about looking big and powerful, but it's also about great. And you know what? I just thought of it. Isn't our dollar tied to petro?
Instead of gold, I think so.
Our US dollar is tied. Do you see what I'm saying? So like maybe by completely, after he took all those people's money, mind you, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, all those people, after he took all their money, destroy the petrodollar and have some sort of a new currency. It's a new currency.
Okay. Back up. United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia are in BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and United Arab Emirates.
But but our dollar is backed by petrol. Do you see what I'm saying? So and the bear is finance and resources, but it's also about control. So it's like they want to. Yes, conversation about nuking it has been had, but it's also to establish a new financial system that they can control so that it's not tied to energy. Does that make sense?
So what I get is money, control, and power. There's the US and the devil. So are they going to talk about it? Yes, because they want to appear to be in control. Now, mind you, a nuclear weapon is never, in this day and age, it's not necessary. They just destroyed a whole ship with sound. There's this kinetic energy weapon that you just blast and it just blows crap apart with sound. You don't need a nuclear weapon. This would be to show strength, to show bullying strength, something like that. Okay. So, public service announcement. The political portion of this program is over. So if you don't want to hear my story, then...
Wait, can we look at what's going on with his neck before we get into your story?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yes. Please, let's do it.
Political/health. What is going on with Trump's neck?
It's a buildup of something in here.
I just heard if he was a dog, Christy Nome would take him out.
It's a buildup of something. Is he dirty? Is that what it is? I don't know. Something's wrong with his urinary tract too.
Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird? He grew back his whole entire ear in a week. Like he's got
I can't heal his neck.
He's got bruises. He's got scabies.
He needs some Dawn. What? Not Dawn, but some Dove. So the Irish Spring, not Irish Spring. What's Ivory? The one that's kind of more pure than the rest of them.
Apparently, he needs to go back up there to Pennsylvania to see a doctor because they grew that ear back so fast.
Mm-hmm. He's got a buildup of something, but it's inside. It's not here.
He got fleas. I got the key, the mice, the cross rider dog. I'm only saying he got fleas because of the dog, but it's something that's like some sort of an infection that's painful, a significant or very important infection that's painful. So it could be bacterial, viral, whatever. And he picked it up from someone around him that's a friend. So I don't get like a skin condition like psoriasis or eczema or anything like that, because that would be the stars. That's the skin. It's like some sort of a irritation infection. That's painful.
Is it a way to tell if that's, what do you call it, contagious?
I get it's from sexual contact. I think he's got syphilis brain too. That's a brain card for me. I think it's syphilis related. And it's something he's had for a long time. He's corrupt from the inside. Yeah, this is the inside man. He's corrupt from the inside. It's just coming out.
And I don't think, hold on.
Intestinal tract issues too.
Is it contagious?
Because the reason I ask is I did the video of the signs that Donald Trump is leaving. And one of the signs is there's an outbreak in the White House. I don't know of what, though.
Syphilis and herpes. And it's not just on his neck. It's not just on his neck. It's on his back and on his legs, too. But
that would be like shingles. But shingles tends to attack a lot of times the head.
He would be in more pain than just walking around.
He wouldn't be able to wear that collar against it if it was shingles.
Whatever he has causes pain and suffering, but it's also on his back and on his legs too.
he needs a magic maxi pass.
Maybe he got a flea or a tick.
He is a flea and a tick. Okay.
Or maybe one of those Iranian super spies put something in his food and he ate it.
They are gunning for you.
He probably ate at Westchester, and
he needs some Neospore and some Campho-Phenique.
Somebody wants that fatwa.
What's that pink stuff they used to use? Calamine lotion. If anybody's poison ivy, it's him. Okay.
He's got Epstein lotion on his neck.
So, as I said, the political portion of this program is over. So if you don't want to hear my human interest story, go to bed now. Take care of yourself, though. Don't go to bed watching politics. Go to bed watching something fun. So there is a reading after this. I just have to set it up first. And I'm Southern, so it takes a while. Okay, so don't rush me. Now, there is a place in Texas called Destination Smokehouse. It is a barbecue restaurant made very popular, very famous on the internets by a man that they called Unc. UNC, Unc down south, is a term of endearment you call an older black man uncle. So that's what the word Unc is. But they call him Unc, and he has a nickname called Mr. Tendernism. And I'll explain that in a minute. Just sit back. Okay. So he does podcasts and he does videos showing himself picking up like ribs and the meat falling off And he would say that's tendernism, and you can't fake that. And he'd take his glasses and he'd slam them down, and everybody's got a kick out of him because he's no charming old man, right? So this other guy named Keith Lee, very popular. He is a social media influencer in the food game especially, but very, very popular. People loved him, some Keith Lee type of thing, right? So he's got a big following. So he sees Unk's videos, and so he goes down to the Destination Smokehouse because he wants to try it. And so he tries it, and he reviews it. He does the videos in his car type of thing. And Keith Lee went into the restaurant after he did his review. I think he gave him an 8 out of 10 or something like that. And so he goes into the restaurant because he wants to meet Unk. Because if you go on social media, that's what people go there for, because he made it popular like that. And they go and they want to take a picture with Unk, right? So he goes in there and he says, can I see Walter? Walter is his name. And can I see Mr. Tendernism? Can I see Unk? And his security said, no, he's doing a podcast right now because he's on social media a lot. And he said, okay, no problem. Can I leave him this tip? Keith Lee wanted to leave him a $4,000 tip. And he was going to leave an additional $1,000 to pay for the food for anybody who came in line behind him. Keith Lee, like I said, very popular. People loved him some Keith Lee. He does that type of thing all the time. They said, no, you cannot leave the tip and you can't leave the money either. So he left. So the internet hears about this because Keith Lee told him about this, and then they went berserk because how dare you take Unk's money and, you know, so forth and so forth. And then it comes to light, Unk does not own Destination Smokehouse. He just works there. There's this other guy who owns the place. His name is Nick.
Who's getting all the free advertising because of Unk.
Because of Unk. And now, mind you, what's making it even worse is Nick is white and Unk is black. And so now they're like, the white man is taking his money. So they put that whole thing in the story too, right? So everybody is saying, Unk, you need to get out of there. You need to quit. And he just cost you $4,000 and this, that, and the other thing. And then Unk does a video with Nick, who owns the Destination Smokehouse, saying he likes Nick. Nick is his friend. They have been, because mind you, this restaurant didn't start out as a barbecue place. It started out as a coffee shop. And it was Nick's family's coffee shop, but it was losing money by the second, according to Nick. And so Unk helped build that little coffee shop into this barbecue place. Because according to Nick now, he said that Walter Unk would come in and say, why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? And make this kind of change and make that kind of change. And do this, and then they turned it into a barbecue spot. And then Nick, by his own admission, learned everything from Walter, and he got everything from Walter, and Walter was the face of Destination Smokehouse. And that's why so many people were coming, and that's why they were successful. So Walter Unk is sitting there saying he has this friendship with Nick because they've been through it since the beginning, right? And Nick also says, how dare Keith Lee come in and try to pay one person? Why don't you pay the whole staff type of thing, you know, that whole thing. And so he's not down and out. He doesn't need your money. Unk drives a Mercedes, so I think he's okay. But the internet then said, you know what, Unk he doesn't see it. He doesn't see that he's been taken advantage of. Let it go. You know, he doesn't see it. You can't make him see it. So whatever. Then Nick, the owner, and Unk are seen on a video. Unk is taking a vacation. He is going to see his family for 2 weeks in LA because, you know, there's a lot of social media buzz and maybe he needs to, you know, go sit down somewhere. He's going to see his family, and everybody is calling BS on that, but he's going to see his family for 2 weeks. While he is gone, Nick, the owner, copyrights Mr. Tendernism, the name Tendernism, the thing that Unk created to bring publicity to this place. He copyrights it. Not to give to Unk, but to own because it's associated with his restaurant. So he owns it. Well, at least he's filed the papers for it. So everybody's up in arms about that now. Fast forward present day, Keith Lee said that he did not try to give him $4,000 because he was down and out. He was trying to show his appreciation. And so people reignited that thing. And then it turns out that Unk no longer works for Destination Smokehouse. So everybody is saying, oh, now look, you stole his copyright, his name, and then you fired him.
And
Nick made a video
from getting money.
It said, I didn't fire him. He stepped away on his own to go pursue his own thing. And I didn't copyright the name out from under him. I told him first. Now, there's a problem in the story to where Ankh says that, you know, he's sorry for what happened. He didn't say he walked away. And Nick says he walked away to do his own thing. Well, he didn't, because he doesn't have a restaurant or a job. Now, all the black celebrities in the world are now flocking to Mr. Tendonism to try to get him his own restaurant. So he did not have one at the time he left the barbecue place. So this was not some, I walked away to do my own restaurant type of thing. He was fired probably. Okay, I said all that to say this. The publicity for Destination Smokehouse was tied to Mr. Tenderness. Mr. Tendonism is now on his own now. And they all see how it went down, to where you took his copyright and now he no longer works there. And he is the one that built your business basically from the ground up. And there was a social media post, which makes it worse, where they said somebody called Mr. Tendonism a mascot. So you were not an employee, you were a mascot. And Nick, the owner of Destination Smokehouse, liked that message. He didn't comment on it, he just liked it. So that drew a bunch of attention too. So now my question is, what is the future, at least this year, for Destination Smokehouse? Now you got the whole story. This has been going on for like 2 months. Or even longer than that, probably.
It's kind of a Mrs. Butterworth and Jemima messaging they're sending out.
Your mascots. What is that? Talk about self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage. This wouldn't be a good reading if you were getting a reading from Jen Lynn Tarot. I'd be like, forewarned is forearmed, but you already know this because your messaging made people very emotional. The truth is out, and that changes people. Like, you're going to have to change the structure of your business is what I'm getting, because people are going to take you down. They're boycotting. Anything they can do, destroy the business, and anybody affiliated with it. So people are not happy with you. You just messed with your own business. So you can have your little copyright all you want. You don't have the customers now.
Letter, ship, heart, bouquet, fish, something in writing, license or something, copyright, whatever. But people still love the place. Do you see what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of love and support for that place, and the business is good. I don't know what that means because it's heart, bouquet, fish.
It could be it's the only barbecue place around for miles. You know,
it has an abundance. People really like it. You know, so And there's a lot of money to be made there too.
It's very popular. Mind you, it's popular because of Mr. Tendenism, but if you don't know he's not there, then you wouldn't hate it.
Because I got people, there's still travel to this place because there's a lot of love, like a lot of really good reviews that people love it. And it's really, the business is really, really good. So maybe for people that are on vacation that are just reading Yelp reviews or something, because this would be like a review, and then the heart and the fish, people are reading reviews and going to this place.
Because mind you, one thing too, Google and one other thing, I think is Yelp, I don't know that for sure. They are trying to control review bombing to where they'll go through and remove the things that just look like people are trying to be negative. Because this place, naturally, after the $4,000 thing, which was the first sort of atrocity, was getting review bombed because how dare you steal his money. And so I think they're trying to remove some of the negativity.
You can do reviews on places you've never visited, you know?
Yeah. Two of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, the Nine of Cups, and the Five of Wands to grow or to get exactly what he wants. This is your plans. Two of Wands, Wheel of Fortune is over time, and then this is your wishes and desires with the Nine of Cups. There's some conflict there. And the conflict is in the details and the manipulation and the chaos and the moon, which is the plots and schemes and secrets. At least with the moon, that's how it appears, that you double crossed and all these type of things. And so this is going to go in cycles of bad publicity, and the owner's not helping none, because every time he gets up to talk, he sounds like he's lying. So there is a bunch of reoccurring traumas and plots and schemes and that type of thing. And I think people are going to start to dig to where they found, oh, this is not the only horrible thing you need to answer for.
That he's done.
Yes, because they're going to go into the past and start to look up all, because the bottom feeder is there in this card. So they're going to start to dig up all that little stuff. And it could be little stuff and they just blow it out of proportion because of this story. And so we'll see. Destination Smokehouse.
Makes me think of that, what just happened to this week with the CEO of McDonald's that did that cringe video of him trying to eat eat
the new hamburger they got.
And he just looks so disgusted. He's like, you know. And then the CEO of Wendy's did a commercial just like that, but kind of like, I guess you could say that he was shading McDonald's, because where the McDonald's guy, you can see he's being very dainty with his bite, like he's okay, they're making me do this for the camera, but the guy from Wendy was all like just taking a big old honk, and I was like, man.
The guy from who got to get fired, mind you, because he was recorded, he was one of the big wigs at Campbell Soup. And he said Campbell Soup is for poor people, and this is garbage, and this is not even food, and this sabotage.
But that goes to show you how they really feel.
How they feel about their customers.
Yep. Why don't you go work for Broccoli's R Us or something then?
I mean,
you don't see MAGA people being invited into Mar-a-Lago,
And like these people don't go to grocery stores. Remember when Trump went? He was like,
field trip.
It was like one of those senior citizen field trips for dementia patients. He didn't know
where he was or what to do.
And then they put him in the trash truck to drive around in little circles. Like, oh my god. This is a nightmare. This is a freaking nightmare, you guys.
He arrived in one of them little white buses where, everybody on there got, touched by an angel. And
now he got something from that.
Stay away from him. He's got cooties.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, that's all I got. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, very true yours. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Hara. Thank you, Torque. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Gigi. Thank you, SW, for the gifted memberships. Thank you, Rose Blue. Thank you, Edie. And thank you, Wordsmither, for the super chats. And we will see y'all next week. Be good or be good at it.
Paisley says next week's field trip, the park, one-way ticket.